Alrighty, guys, welcome back to another episode of Monkey Hero Adventures. We're right where we left off. We just got back from Garuda, and we're going to push on and see what we can do to rebuild the Scions and hopefully stop the Empire and that ultimate weapon. Alright. It is past time we return to the Waking Sands. To leave our headquarters in disrepair any longer would be to dishonor the memory of those who fell there. We have been brought to our knees, but we will rest, rebuild, and rise once more. Oh, it looks like good old Nedric's got another quest for us. What you got? Going for gold. Oh, good old Aurum Vale. Yeah, looks like we got one over here too. What you got for us? Trauma Queen. Okay. Tell me, Monkey, does aught here strike you as odd? I see signs of recent habitation. Could it be that we have trespassers? Mayhap it's just my imagination. Come, let us proceed into the solar. Wait. Who goes there? Now, Ida. Is that any way to greet a friend? Alphino! Monkey! Sid! Wait, is this a dream? Not that I'm aware of. It's been a while, Ida. I don't believe it. I was sure you'd been... This place has seen better days. I wasn't actually here when... I was still in talks at the Adder's Nest. The first I knew about it was when I came back and I saw... Ida. The church had taken care of the bodies, but that still left the stains. It was hard to know where to start. If Y'shtola hadn't been here to help me... Y'shtola's here too? Yes, but she's not here right now. She's gone to Ul'dah to meet a man who might know what happened to the others. Papalimo and Minfilia weren't among the dead, according to the church. Y'shtola thinks they were taken somewhere. Upon the orders of the Black Wolf, no doubt. Why would he want them? Because they possess something he desires. Knowledge of another power that he can be brought to bear against the primals. One that Gaius is yet to harness. The Echo. Gaius will be aware of its existence, as well as the immunity it grants the gifted to Primal's influence. Powerful though his Allagan weapon may be, he would doubtless desire such protection. He means to use Minfilia to gain an understanding of the Echo, none of which explains how the Empire came to know the location of the Waking Sands in the first place. No matter. The Empire has shown its hand, and now we must act. It's up to us to rebuild the Scions and save Eorzea. Can I count on you, Ida? What? Oh, yes, of course. Whatever you need. We can discuss our next move upon Ishtola's return. For now, I say we rest.
Hear, feel, think. Bringer of light, brave gatherer of the crystals, thy soul burneth bright. I am Hydaelyn, all made one. Hearken unto me now, for the darkness doth begin to spread. Wear thee the bearer of the crimson brand, for he is the avatar of shadow, whom death attendeth always. The crystals shall be thy salvation, thy blade and shield both. Steel thyself, for at the appointed hour thou shalt stare into the heart of darkness. Go with caution, my child, but fear not, for I am ever with thee.
Y'shtola. Monkey, I see you and Alphino are safe. And Sid. That we five should meet each other under thus defies simple explanation. It is as if the benevolent hand of Master Louis Soir guides us still. He would not see us undone so easily, not now, when the need is so great. I know where Minfilia and the others are being held. Where? An Imperial stronghold in the heart of Mordona, Castrum's Sentry. Well, let's go get him. The rescue of our allies shall be no small undertaking, Monkey. Even under normal circumstances, breaching the defenses of an Imperial castrum would be a highly dangerous proposition. But now the castrum sentry houses prisoners whom the Garleans deem valuable. We may be confident they have taken additional measures to ensure the stronghold's security. If we are to free our friends, we will require an effective strategy, and if we are able to formulate an effective strategy, we will require intelligence. I believe I know a man who may be able to assist this. Lord Portelaine of House Durandare. He is stationed at the observatorium in Corthus. Let us go to him and beseech his aid. And we going back to Corthus. Ah, Monkey, the man who unmasked the heretic in our midst. To what do I owe the pleasure of your company? You are an associate of Ishtola, but of course, Lord Drillamont confided to me that you were a scion of the Seventh Dawn. Well, he shouldn't have. Castrum Sentry? What interest have you in the Imperials? They hold several of our number, whom we intend to free. Any information you could provide would be greatly appreciated. I see. That might explain our scouts' reports. They observed 4 prisoners being led into the castrum. A Herian woman, an Elysian man, and 2 Lalafels, 1 male and 1 female. It's them. It has to be Minfilia, Oriange, Papalimo, and Tataru. If that scant morsel is used to you, you may also be interested to hear about a more recent incident. Incident? An Imperial ship made an emergency landing here in Quarthus not long ago. 2 men believed to be prisoners, a Rogadan and a Lalafell, were seen fleeing the craft. What did you say? A Rogadan and a Lalafell, Master Garlean. Neither wore Imperial dress, and both seemed disinclined to wait for rescue, hence our assumption that they were prisoners. Well, I'll be damned. It's Biggs and Wedge. Trust those 2 rascals to escape. We must find them, Monkey, and soon. The Imperials will not rest until they've captured or killed, and if Biggs were given the choice, I fear he'd take the latter. Freeing those held in Castrum Sentry will require substantial planning and preparation. As such, it is an endeavor that will admit some slight delay. The matter of the escapees, by contrast, will not. Shortly after the prisoners vacated the ship, our scouts observe Imperial troops setting off in pursuit. It is likely only a matter of time before they catch them. If you wish to see your comrades again, you'd best act now. It is as he suggested. The Garleans took our fellow Scions prisoner in hopes of understanding the echo. It seems reasonable to assume that they will not be executed until such time the study is complete. But Biggs and Wedge are not Scions, nor do they know aught of the echo. As Lord Portelaine said, this may prove our only chance to rescue them. I say we seize it. Heck yeah, we gotta go save Biggs and Wedge. Thank you, everyone. You won't regret this. Final preparations are almost complete, my lord. There stands the culmination of 5 long years of painstaking work. But all our efforts will be vindicated when the Emperor's vision becomes reality. At last, we have the power to purge this land of its false gods. We shall give the ignorant children of Eorzea the security and stability they so desperately crave, and which their spineless leaders have so palpably failed to provide. As you say, my lord, rest assured, our engineers will not rest until the weapon is fully armed and operational. Ratatan, you depart for Castrum Obsidians at midnight. You will command the western front in Vilbrand. The Eorzeans will attempt to interfere in our plans. You will see that they do not. My lord, if this be your will, I shall carry it out to the best of my abilities. I live only to serve the Empire. Yet, forgive my impudence, but is it proper to give command of half our forces to I give you nothing, Perfectus. You have earned it. That will be all. Dismissed. Yes, my lord. My quarters, 1 hour. My purpose here is to reconnoiter Garlean activity along Albathia's spine. Owing to this, I have the honor of being acquainted with Y'shtola. Now, the report of the Imperial airship's emergency landing came to us by way of Demazel Darkhold, situated to the west. Our man stationed at the entrance, a knight named Bristlet, may be able to tell you more. So, as to expedite your mission, I shall furnish you with a letter of introduction. I pray that you will soon be reunited with your comrades. May the Fury grant you strength. No. Hey, Snow Wolf. You stand before Demazel Darkhold, the subterranean fortress excavated by the great Ishgardian house of the same name. None but authorized personnel may enter. A letter from Lord Portelaine. So you've come about the Imperial airship. According to our scouts, the vessel had scarce touched the ground when a pair of men, captives by all account, burst forth and bolted. Imperial soldiers have since been sighted in the area, seeking to recapture them. What? The captives are like to be your friends, you say? Then let us pray that they are yet a step ahead of their pursuers. The emergency landing reportedly took place near Aurum Vale, situated southwest of here. I suggest you take your search there. Seek out a knight named Pyrmons. He shall be able to assist you. Well, isn't that convenient? Because I just got the quest to open up Aurum Vale as a dungeon, and now I'm happen to be going near Aurum Vale for a quest. Wow, it's almost like good quest design. You can't catch me, Snow Wolf. I got a cloud mount. I think it's literally the same person. I think it is literally the same person for both of these. Okay, it's not. So this guy opens up the dungeon. Yeah, Nedrick sent me. Ooh. Let me see. Compared to that ring, this is definitely better in every way. And then compared to that ring, oh my god, way better. Yeah, I have to take this ring. Although this necklace is probably better in every way too, right? Oh my god, they're both way better. I'm gonna take the ring. Cool. Oh, sorry. The airship came. Two of those guys there. My bad. I hastened to the landing site, arriving just in time to see the vessel take to the skies again. But not before I had deployed a detachment of troops. Gruff orders were being barked, but there was an air of consternation about them. Okay, so they landed, the guys ran off. They sent some people after him, but they immediately took back off again. In comparison, nope. Footprints in the snow. There were prisoners aboard the airship, it seems, and they seized the opportunity to flee when the vessel was forced to land. The Garleans who were deployed formed search parties and proceeded to scout the wilderness. In order to alert our forces, I returned to my post. To find evidence that someone had been here in my absence, Whoever they were, they tried the door to no avail and decided to go elsewhere. In all, I marked 2 sets of footprints, one large and one small. If you search the area, mayhap you'll be able to follow the prints to their owners. Sounds good. Let's go. Monkey Hero is very slow at tracking footprints. He should get better. You can take some skill points in footprint tracking, man. Don't you wolf bastard. I told him not to do it. Hey, Wedge. So cold. I want to go home. What? Please don't eat me. I'm not nearly as succulent as I look. It's all skin and bones underneath. I swear. God, Monkey, it's you. Thank goodness you're here. It's been awful. The Garleans were snapping at our heels like a hungry pack of wolves. I was so hell-bent on evading them, I almost ran headlong into a monster's gaping maw thrice. And when I finally found cover, it hit me how cold and hungry I was. But Biggs? He isn't here. He went off in a different direction to lure off the pursuers away. It's me, Sid. Have you had any success? Track down Wedge. That's wonderful news. Now, what of Biggs? I see. Well, it hardly surprises me that the big fellow went off as he did. For all the tongue lashings he gives Wedge, he always takes care of him. I've scoured the area surrounding the Darkhold, but we have nothing to show for it. At any rate, we know for a fact that Biggs headed west. With both Ida and Ishtola helping out, I'm sure he'll turn up soon. For now, I'll make my way over to your position while keeping an eye out for Biggs. If memory serves, there should be an Asgardian fortification not far from your west. Monument Tower, I believe it's called. Let us meet there. Dare I hope? Was that Master Garlean you spoke with? After 5 young years, thank goodness he's alive. I'm feeling better now, Monkey. Let's go to Monument Tower and wait for the chief to arrive. Mud puppies. Well met and welcome, adventurer. What brings you to the frozen corner of the realm? Oh, it would seem your companion has caught a chill. Come and warm yourself by the fire. I will bring you a hot broth. How are you feeling now, then? Stay here as long as you need. The same goes for you, friend. 'Tis plain you've had a hard journey ahead of you. You must find rest where you can. I'm fine now, thanks to you. But I can't bear to think that Biggs is still all alone in the cold with the Garleans on his heels. He lured the enemy away for my sake, and now he's suffering for it. I hate to have to rely on you again, Monkey, but do you think you could search for Biggs? I haven't the slightest notion where he might be at the moment, but maybe, just maybe, the people here have seen something. A rogue and a gentleman dressed in the same manner as your companion? I'm sorry, but he did not come by here. Let me think a moment. I would not raise your hopes unduly, but there is a cave situated a short distance to the south. We call it the Fury's Gaze, and it may be worth the while to investigate. I make this suggestion only because your friend seems like a selfless sort. Rather than drawing the enemy to this tower, mayhap he elected to pass us by. Well, he wasn't in there. Monkey, were you able to learn anything? Not in this area? Well, that stands to reason. I suppose seeing as he was trying to lure the Garleans away from me, but where within this vast sea of snow and ice could he be? We can't give up, Monkey. We must find Biggs before he succumbs to the cold, and or is recaptured. There must be someone in this tower who can help us, even if it's only to tell us where to look. Ask them for me. Ask anyone who will listen, and hurry. Biggs' chances of survival grow slimmer by the moment. Hello, my name is Ignis. I am the only Jamaican-ish guardian. Your friend is lost in the wilderness, you say? I'm just kidding, I'm not going to do that. If he's not found around here, or in the vicinity of the Darkhold, it is possible he made for Whitebrim. To reach it, you must travel through the Dauphin Pass, the southern end, which lies to the north and east of here. While I make no guarantees that your search will bear fruit, it is surely better than worrying in idleness. Oh, and one more thing. Do tread warily when climbing the stairs here. Not a moon ago, I nearly broke my neck when I slipped and took a tumble. Yeah, well, I'm not going to worry about that, because I'm not taking the stairs down. I'm taking the easy way down. Stay away from me. Oh, instance. Our orders are to take you back, dead or alive. Which will it be, engineer? Why don't you come and find out, tin head? Ah, Monkey, it's well that you're here. The situation is grave. Biggs is in a bad way. We need to do something right now. Ida has the right of it. He will perish if we delay. With me. He's not alone. Kill them all. Dude, y'all got no chance. My thanks. Another moment and I would have... He's been too long in the cold. We must find him shelter. Monument Tower, you say? Very well. Ida and I shall bear him there with all haste. Sid'll be so happy to see Biggs and Wedge again. Aw, I love reunions. Me too. I love killing them Garlean chumps. I cannot thank you enough, Monkey. And the same goes for the rest of you. Thank you all so much. Oh, don't mention it. We are a family, are we not? Well, yes, it's just, I didn't think I'd ever see him again. I owe the lot of you my life. And you saved Wedge too, Monkey. I'm losing count of how many I owe you. Biggs! Wedge! Gods, it's good to see the two of you again. Chief, it's you! It's really you! In our hearts, we knew you were still alive, but to finally see you in the flesh... Well, Alphino told me of the raid on the Waking Sands. I feared the worst. What happened? The enemy struck with nary a warning. We didn't stand a chance. Wedge and I were in the workshop when they came, but we knew what was happening. The Imperials held us at gunpoint. It must have been awful. That's one thing I don't understand, though. How did the Garleans get there so fast? I mean, the Immortal Flames should have seen them coming, right? I asked myself the same question. That day when I returned to the carnage at the Waking Sands, I noted not a mist horizon. Nothing at all to suggest the passing of an Imperial force. From this, I conclude that the Garleans came neither by land nor air. Nay, they were borne there by potent teleportation magics. Magics of the kind used by the Scions. Carry on. We were bound and blindfolded and bundled in a cargo bay of the waiting airship. I can't rightly say how long we were aboard, but when the time came for us to disembark, we found ourselves in the midst of an Imperial stronghold at Castrum Sentry. Upon arrival, we were marched off into the main complex. Biggs and I were thrown into a detainment cell together, while Minfilia and the others were taken elsewhere. That was the last we heard from them. Castrum Sentry. What happened next? Well, we were held in isolation for what felt like years, but was probably moons, or maybe only weeks. And then, without warning, the Imperials collected the pair of us and put us on another vessel, which we found out was bound for Garlemald, much to our dread. We knew if we were taken back there, we weren't likely to leave again. So, risky as it was, we sabotaged the ship's altitude control, thereby forcing an emergency landing, and in the midst of the ensuing chaos, we managed to slip our captors. The rest, as they say, is history. Huh. If I didn't know better, I'd call that a likely story. Sabotaging the altitude controls on an airborne vessel. That will have been Biggs's handiwork, like as not. You always were resourceful in a tight spot, my friend. Monkey, thank you for returning my dear assistance to me. It would seem I owe you yet another debt of gratitude. There are still many questions in my mind, but the answers can wait. Minfilia and the others still want for rescue. Alright, you lot. Garlean Ironworks is back in business. Let's go and give the Imperials what for. Hurrah! Thanks to you, Biggs and Wedge are with us again. Now we must find a way to rescue Minfilia and the others. Gods know we've kept them waiting too long already. Based on what we've learned, I believe it's safe to say they're being held at Castrum Sentry. So let's convene at Revenant's Toll in Mordona. It's a good place as any to prepare for, and better than most. The road leading east and south will get you there. When we arrive, let us seek the advice of the local adventurers. We're bound to learn a thing or two that will benefit our mission. Alright, about to make our first trip down to Mordona. Well met, friend. What brings you to Remnant's Toll? Did I hear you rightly? Your friends are being held captive at Castrum Sentry, and you want to rescue them. I don't mean to discourage you, but that might prove difficult. The stronghold has been on high alert of late, with armored patrols seen about the perimeter around the clock. Not even a fly could get within 100 yards of the walls undetected. If the Garleans were alerted to our coming, we cannot know what they would do to Minfilia and the others. We must act with the greatest stealth. Aye, it has to be a good old-fashioned infiltration. But with security so tight, how are we going to smuggle ourselves in? Why, I have a mind to walk through the front door. Huh? The front door? Aye. We'll disguise ourselves as Imperial troops and march right in. For this, we'll need a few sets of Imperial uniforms, a set of Magitech armor, and impeccable timing. Huh. That's a bold strategy, but it might work. Where we are, there's certainly no shortage of opportunities to borrow the equipment. Knowing these Imperial bastards, they won't even suspect that we salvage Orisians would think to use their savage Orisians would think to use their technology. Then it's settled. If you're determined to go ahead with this, I'd recommend you speak with Glaument. The fellow's got a personal grudge against the Empire, and seems to know a great deal about Castrum Sentry besides. I've no doubt he'd want to be of your aid. Ida and I shall go reconnoiter Garlean activity at the stronghold. It would not do if something were to befall our comrades before we had the chance to act. Come and join us when you're ready, Monkey. Let's do this. Sometimes I wonder, Ida, are there ever times that you're not enthused? I'm nothing if not enthused, Istola, and you're beginning to remind me of Papa Limo. Looking for Glaument, are you? Well, you found him, whoever you are. You're looking to get inside Castrum Sentry, and you need my help. Huh. Something tells me we're going to get along just fine. So you have friends at Castrum Sentry you want to rescue. This Laform knows me too well. You can count on my help. I've got a score to settle with the Imperials, and I'll never pass on an opportunity to get back those Horsens. But enough about me. Let's talk about strategy. Rescuing folks from captivity, right delicate business. A single oversight, just one little blunder, and it's all over. Can't leave any room for uncertainty. For starters, you need to confirm beyond a shadow of a doubt that your friends are where you think they are. You don't want to risk your neck only to discover they've been moved elsewhere. But how can you find out, you ask? By following these instructions. If you approach the sentry from the east, you'll see a swampland to your left called the Tangle. Get in there. Never mind all the Marlboros and navigate your way to the southwestern corner. You'll come upon some drainage pipes coming down from the stronghold. Don't ask me how I know, but one of them leads back to the command tower. If you listen closely, might be as you can eavesdrop on some of the happenings within. Once you know for certain your friends are there, we'll move on to the next stage of the operation. Now get going and Godspeed. Ugh. Lovely Mordona. The faint sound of conversation echoes down the pipe. What of the captive? Does she still refuse to speak? She may as well be a deaf mute for all the information we've gotten out of her. The others aren't much better. The Ellison gets on my nerves most of all. Every time he opens his mouth, it's only to spout gibberish. I do wonder, why is the Tribunus so obsessed with this Minfilia woman? They say she possesses some mystical power, something we Garleans don't have. Mystical power? Like the kind the beastmen use? How am I supposed to bloody know? If you're so curious, why don't you ask the Tribunus yourself? As well try to tumble her. I like my head where it is, thank you very much. Our break is over. Best we get back to our stations. The footfalls grow fainter until all is silent. Well, I would assume they are there. Tis good to see you again, Monkey. I'm given to understand you have conducted some reconnaissance. Tell me what you were able to learn. So Minfilia and the others are indeed at Castrum Sentry. Their presence thus confirmed, we may proceed with the mission. While you were afield, Cid took the liberty of devising a plan of action. Pray have the details from him. Good work, Monkey. As Alphino has told you, we have plotted out a course for the rescue. The gist of it is unchanged. We disguise ourselves as Imperial soldiers and infiltrate the stronghold. Garlean is looking to ways to procure a suit of Magitech armor. In the meantime, I need your assistance for some preparation of my own. Minfilia and the others are counting on us, Monkey. Let us not keep them waiting any longer than necessary. Drowning out the voices. While Garlean goes about devising his plan, we need to take some preparations of our own. It wouldn't do if the Imperials were to discover that they're short on armor. To prevent this from happening, I'm going to put together a makeshift communications jamming device. The explanation is like to get a bit technical, so bear with me. Imperial forces communicate at a distance with electromagnetic waves. Simply put, voices are born upon etheric lightning energy that permeates the air. Now, the hill-sized cluster of corrupted crystals to the west has been observed to amplify the selfsame energy. By making use of this property, we should be able to drown out Imperial voices. To ensure that we have enough amplification, we must identify the most potent crystal among the cluster. For this, I need you to go there and use this device to take readings. I'll mark the likely places on your map. Oh, and just so you know, plasmoids are drawn to lightning energy. Don't be surprised if you run into a few. Okie dokie. Yep, I'm not lazy. Teleporting back. You have the readings? Excellent. Here, let me see the numbers. Yes, 4 of these crystals should suit our purpose. Though I pray that we won't have need of their power. My thanks, monkey. Clean the wax out of your ears now, because there's something I want you to do by way of preparation. The plan's to have you enter Castrum Sentry all decked out in Imperial duds, but a disguise is more than just clothes you're wearing. You gotta act like the part. At the very least, you need to know how to perform a convincing Imperial salute. First impressions are everything, as they say. I could teach you the salute myself, of course, but it's best you learned it from the experts. So go get yourself near as you dare to Castrum Sentry, and watch the Imperials doing what they do. I gotta learn the salute. Bo, 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 bo. Don't you do it, Nix. Don't you. He's sticky-tongued to me. Gross. Don't you do it. Oh my goodness. Got slobber on me again. Mud puppy, don't you think about it. Oh my goodness, he tried to spit on me. Oh, another one. Nothing to report, sir. We have received an anonymous warning that insurgent forces are near. We must redouble our vigilance. I shall recommend that patrols be increased. Did you manage to learn the Imperial salute? No, no, no. Best you don't demonstrate. I'm liable to fly into a rage and crack skulls. I just take your word for it. You are called Monkey Hero, yes? I've heard of your plight with my friend Glamont, sorry. As a fellow adventurer and son of Eorzea both, I would offer you my assistance. In order to infiltrate Castrum Sentry, you and your comrades must disguise yourself as Imperial soldiers. The question is how to go about acquiring the uniforms and helms. There are places a man might purchase them, but individuals who deal in such wares are not the sort whom you would trust with your secrets. It would be more prudent, I believe, to procure what you need via traditional means from the bodies of the recently deceased owners. The fortified areas before Castrum Sentry never lack for Imperial patrols. It ought not take long to obtain 3 sets of gear. One of each member of the infiltration team, Biggs, Wedge, and yourself. When you have what you need, please return here and allow me to inspect the spoils. Alright. Were you able to obtain 3 sets of Imperial equipment? Damaged, as I had expected. In their present condition, I fear these uniforms and helms are likely to draw suspicion. They must be repaired, if only superficially. Fortunately, the blacksmith Eganolf at the Diamond Forge in Rowina's House of Splendor should be able to hammer these into shape in no time. I've already sent word ahead, and have been assured that he is expecting you. Worry not, we have already impressed upon him the need for utmost secrecy as to the nature of your mission. So you're the venture Sark Malark sent, are you? I've been waiting for you. Now let's see what you got for me. I see. Ah, yes. I reckon I can hammer these back into shape for you. After all, I owe your friend Sark Malark a favor or two. Took care of old Eingolf back in the days before I fell in with old Rowena, he did. Egenolf. Did you know he's the son of one of the wealthiest families in the Sultanate? Wouldn't expect someone like that to end up in the life he did, but I suppose he's always felt the venture's life calling him. But here I go blathering on where there's work to be done. Just hold your horse birds for a moment or two, and the great Egenolf will have your gear looking good as new. And there we have it. Won't do you much good in battle, mind you, but for what I hear, that's not your priority anyway. Do send Sark Malark my regards, will you? Have you had the uniforms and helms repaired? Yes, these will serve beautifully. The great Egenolf never fails to impress. The quality of these repairs would fool even a legatus. Thus equipped, you should have no trouble blending in amongst the Imperial forces. Lest you fear that the Garleans might detect your foreignness, foreigners, in fact, are the greater part of the Garlean invasion force in Eorzea. You see, when the Empire subjugates new territory, it assimilates the people of the land into its armed forces. In turn, these conscripted forces are sent to subjugate faraway lands. In this way, Garlemald nips rebellions in the bud and expands its territory in one fell stroke. With that, my part in your mission is done. I am full glad to have been assistance to your cause. Why would I, a wealthy merchant, wish to help you? I know not where you heard such a tale, but believe me when I say I am but another humble adventurer, one who desires only to act in the best interests of the realm. Good work getting them Imperial duds. You'll be pleased to hear I ain't been idle myself. It took me long enough, but I finally hatched a plan to get us a suit of Magitech armor. Now, from what I've seen, Castrum Sentry deploys a Reaper for most of its patrols. Trouble is, the patrols themselves are irregular, meaning random routes and random deployments, and hardly any of them come anywhere near Revenant's toll. So, hoping to coax the Imperials out of their shells, I took the liberty of feeding them a bit of old false intelligence. Told them insurgents had been designs on taking their stronghold. Tain't far from the truth, now come to think of it. Any road, we should start seeing more patrols now that we have more patrols than we have up till now. What you need to do is approach one of these patrols dressed up in your shiny tin suit and alert them to the enemy's presence. Having done that, you'll want to lure them as near as Revenant's toll as you can. Like as not, though, they'll be wary of venturing far from their own walls. If they do need a bit of extra encouragement, use the smoke signal here. Flinched fresh from an Imperial scout, they'll come running when they see that. And when the cavalry arrives, you'll hit them hard and make off with a Reaper. Simple as that. If I ain't mistaken, there's a patrol sweeping the perimeter right now, so run along and don't forget to salute. Carry on, soldier. Insurgents gathering to the east, you say? Judging by your description, they are well beyond the perimeter. But I will not have it said that I was remiss. You return to the scene and keep an eye on those insurgents. Should aught go awry, use your smoke signal to call us. Let's do it. I hope you don't mind me joining. Seeing as we are seizing advanced weaponry, I thought it best to be on hand. Ah, there she is. This is the place. But where's the enemy? Sir, over there. Send in the Reaper. Let's make an example of these insurgents. At last, our very own suit of Magitech armor. Not wishing to look at gift Chocobo in the beak, it does seem rather the worse for the wear, doesn't it? Biggs, Wedge, what's your honest assessment? Well, there's the fact that she's smoking, of course, but looking past that, I'd say she's structurally sound. I don't like the way these legs are buckled. I hate to say this, but the servo mechanism may be damaged. But aren't those things protected by the thick armor plate? They are, yes. It's odd. The casing doesn't seem to have taken a blow. I suspect we're dealing with a faulty part. Well, whatever it is we're dealing with, we're not resting till it's fixed. Not one wink of sleep. You got that, Wedge? Oh, cart Chocobo. I heard that. A hall has been set aside for us to use in Revenant's Toll. That's where we'll carry out the repairs. Look for us there, monkey. Magitech armor. Sid and the others took it inside. Go on in and join them. We've now had the time to take a closer look at the Reaper. Our preliminary diagnosis was correct. She's structurally sound, but her servo mechanism is faulty. You needn't worry though. Biggs and Wedge will see her restored to her former glory in no time at all. Give those two something to mend, and they will think naught of else till the job's done. 'Tis a marvelous thing to behold, provided you remind them to visit the privy. See what the next one is. I think we're going to end right here for this one, so this one doesn't go too long. But we will pick up right here when we leave on the next thing. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one.